Hi, welcome to a2zknowledge.com. So today what exactly we are going to see is all about what exactly a functional programming is. So our viewers are all, recently they have asked me what exactly functional programming. They are using a programming paradigm term as functional programming. So I've just planned to give a quick introduction about what exactly a functional programming is. So basically we have already two types of programming paradigm in the market. So one is procedural oriented and another one is object oriented. And one more new thing has been added into picture which we call it as functional programming. So I will just give you a little bit background about what procedural and object oriented. With respect to procedural oriented, I can give you an example. C is a programming language which comes under procedural oriented. If you really see what exactly C is doing is, if I want to write a program to saying that to drive a car, I am asking a driver to drive a car. So if I want to write a code for this, how I will write is, say I will ask the driver to take the key, go near to the car, open the door, start the car. But if some procedure if I miss in between, then it's hard to debug. So that's why they have entered into object-oriented programming paradigm, like Java is an example for that. So whereas in object-oriented world, we used to see everything as an object. For example, driver is an object, car is an object, key is an object, steering is an object. So if I get any problem with respect to a car or a driver, I can easily able to identify the objects. To have a control on the objects, they are giving you some types in object-oriented world: class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation. Now, we entered into something called functional programming. What exactly functional programming is? A functional programming language is used to make the coded life easy. What exactly that means? Functional programming has more brevity. Okay, what exactly the brevity? Generally, in programming world, we used to say brevity is all about number of lines code. If it is very less, we used to call it as brevity. For example, in Java, I am writing some 20 lines. I have a functional programming where I am writing the same code in 5 lines. Then this code has a brevity. If some particular programming language, I can write it in a less number of lines. I can complete my task with less number of lines in coding. Then we used to say that's a brevity. So all functional programming languages having the concept called brevity. So we have some functional programming languages in market, which is Scala, Haskell. These are all some functional programming. So when we say functional programming, who exactly will enjoy this concept? So anyone can enjoy. If you really see, like I'm having more number of lines, I'm writing more number of lines in my Java or C, C++, they can really enter into it. So why we are what they have did in functional programming to really minimize the code is all about, they are giving the control on the function. The function is very flexible in functional programming. You can bend the function. For example, you can write nested function. There is some types to control object-oriented thing. You have inheritance, polymorphism, something like that. You have a control with functional programming. They are giving some types of functions types, like I will tell you something, but even you are new to this, but I'm just giving you a kind of example. That's it. We have something called partial applied function, higher order function, clauser, call by value, call by reference. These are all some function types which they provide in all functional programming paradigm languages to really have a control on functions. Whereas if you see in object-oriented world, we can write functions, but we don't have a flexibility on the function. If you really see the functional programming in object-oriented world, even the Scala and Haskell, whatever I said, the functional programming, still it has all the concepts of object-oriented, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, everything it has. So the normal object-oriented guy used to see the functional programming and says like, no, whatever the concept I'm having in my Java, in my C++, it is there in the functional programming. Then why should I have to come there? I can go with this, right? So we are seeing in an object-oriented world. So in really the use for the functional programming is all about a functional way. Really a mathematical derivation and expressions will be very easy if I start writing a code in functional programming, whereas if you take Java or C++, the lines of code will be very high because you don't have a control in the functions. And if you see in that way, you can really enjoy the advantage of functional programming. Even I am a Java guy. And if you see the functional programming with respect to data mining and analytics and predictive analysis side, people will use it more because there we need to have more mathematical expression. In modern world, we need something more than object oriented because we are writing new algorithms, data structures. So we need to make it very simple, because when a code has a brevity, the maintenance is very easy, debugging is very easy. So the compilation time will get reduced so that the performance will be get increased. Even if we can do the same thing in Java or C++, but we have to work hard to do that. But here in functional programming, we don't want to work too much hard to really increase the performance of the code. It has its own nature it is. But if you see, really Java 8 has been released, and Java 8 is purely a functional programming language. Even Java has been entered into functional programming thing. So even if you are a Java guy who is watching this video, you can get this information in Google. Java has also implemented functional oriented concepts. So going forward, I am going to choose one functional programming and I am going to teach you. So the functional programming which I am going to choose is Scala. Scala is one of the functional programming is demand in market. It has demand in market. And if you know a functional programming language, it is like kind of it will enhance your profile, and with respect to job perspective I am saying, because that's on demandable programming language in market, and that too comes under functional programming. These programming language has been used in many technologies like big data, cloud, and even you can write it as a web application. Like what you do with Java, the same thing you can do with the Scala also, like what C++, the same thing Scala. So going forward, I will explain you with Scala, and this is a quick introduction video of what exactly a functional programming is. And still, if you have a confusion about this, you can write to us. And thanks for watching A2ZKnowledge.com, and we are providing videos in 2 languages, Tamil and English. So if you really like this video, please subscribe my channel and pass this to your colleagues and friends. Thanks for watching.